Dave Wessels praises South Africa's rugby pathways as the best in the world. South African rugby has long been admired for its ability to produce world-class players. And according to Dave Wessels, the system responsible for nurturing that talent is unmatched anywhere in the world. Wessels, who currently serves as the general manager of high-performance rugby for SA Rugby, believes the country's schoolboy rugby structure and player development pathways create a unique ecosystem that consistently produces elite athletes ready to compete at the highest level. Having previously coached internationally with the Melbourne Rebels and Western Force, Wessels has experienced rugby development systems in different parts of the world. That exposure, he says, has only strengthened his belief that South Africa's rugby foundation, particularly at school level, is in a class of its own. His role within SA Rugby places him at the center of the nation's development pipeline, overseeing player progression from grassroots rugby all the way to the senior national teams, including the world-renowned South Africa National Rugby Union team. Wessels' appointment and its strategic importance in 2024, SA Rugby appointed Wessels as general manager of high-performance rugby in a strategic move designed to strengthen the country's development structures. The decision had an immediate impact on the national setup. It allowed Springboks mastermind Rassie Erasmus to focus entirely on coaching responsibilities with the national team rather than splitting his attention between roles. Previously, Erasmus had carried the dual responsibilities of director of rugby and head coach. With Wessels taking over key administrative and strategic responsibilities, the structure was streamlined to improve efficiency. The time of the appointment, SA Rugby CEO Rian Oberholzer explained the importance of the change. He noted that Wessels' arrival would provide additional support not only to the Springboks, but also to other national programs, including the Sevens teams, women's teams, and junior national squads. The goal was to ensure that every level of South African rugby received the strategic attention it needed to succeed. Overseeing player development across the nation as general manager of high-performance rugby, Wessels holds one of the most influential positions in the country's rugby ecosystem. His responsibilities include overseeing elite player pathways and managing the Elite Player Development Program, which identifies and nurtures promising young talent across the country. This role places him at the intersection between grassroots rugby and elite international competition. The results of these systems are already becoming clear. South Africa's junior rugby teams continue to perform strongly on the global stage, with the junior Springboks winning the prestigious World Rugby Under-20 Championship last year. That triumph reinforced the effectiveness of the country's development structures and highlighted the depth of talent emerging through the ranks. The power of South Africa's schoolboy rugby. Wessels believes the true strength of South African rugby lies in its school system, which acts as the first step in the development pipeline. Speaking at the SA Rugby Awards ceremony in an interview with SuperSport, he praised the extraordinary level of commitment and professionalism shown by school coaches and administrators across the country. According to Wessels, the investment made by schools in their rugby programs is unlike anything seen elsewhere in the world. We live in such an amazing ecosystem of rugby, he explained. The skill, investment, and care that our schools put into rugby just to get us started is far beyond what anyone else in the world does. School rugby in South Africa is not simply a recreational activity. It is a highly organized and competitive environment where young athletes begin developing the skills required for professional rugby. Many schools have world-class facilities, dedicated coaching staff, and strong rugby cultures that mirror the professional game. This environment ensures that by the time players graduate from school, they already possess a strong foundation in technique, physical conditioning, and tactical awareness. The responsibility of post-school development. While school rugby provides an excellent starting point, Wessels emphasized that the responsibility does not end there. Once players leave school, SA Rugby must ensure that the development process continues at the same high level. This includes providing structured competitions, professional coaching, and opportunities for players to progress through the ranks. We then have a responsibility, when those players leave school, to make sure that we keep up those standards, Wessels said. The transition from school rugby to professional rugby is often one of the most challenging phases in a player's career. Without proper support and competitive opportunities, even the most talented athletes can struggle to reach their potential. That is why SA Rugby has placed such a strong emphasis on improving its player pathways, a system that motivates itself, one of the most fascinating aspects of South Africa's rugby ecosystem, according to Wessels, is how the system essentially motivates itself. Players at grassroots level look up to the Springboks as the ultimate goal, while the success of the national team inspires younger generations to work harder and at the same time. Elite players must constantly perform at their best to retain their place in the national squad. This dynamic creates pressure and motivation from both ends of the development pipeline. Everyone now aspires to be in that group, Wessels said, referring to the Springboks. They work hard and try to push for that. The result is a continuous cycle of ambition and competition that drives South African rugby forward. A strong future for South African rugby beyond player development. The overall health of the sport in South Africa appears extremely strong. SA Rugby has recently introduced several initiatives aimed at expanding and strengthening the game across the country. One of the most significant developments is the launch of a new professional women's club competition, which represents a major step forward for women's rugby in South Africa. This competition will provide female players with greater opportunities to compete at a professional level and could help accelerate the growth of the women's national team. Meanwhile, the domestic calendar continues to expand with the launch of the SA Cup competition, which further enhances the competitive landscape for professional players. The enduring popularity of Varsity Cup, another pillar of South Africa's rugby structure, is the immensely popular Varsity Cup. The university-based competition has become one of the most entertaining and widely followed tournaments in the country. The IT serves as a crucial bridge between school rugby and professional rugby, allowing young players to gain valuable experience in high-pressure matches while continuing their education. Many current Springboks began their journeys in the Varsity Cup, demonstrating the importance of the tournament in the national development pathway, revamping junior rugby competitions despite the success of South Africa's rugby system. SA Rugby recently conducted a comprehensive review of its junior competitions to identify areas for improvement. The review revealed that there was a gap between the dominance of South African school teams at the under-18 level and the performances of the country's under-20 teams. While the nation's under-18 sides had consistently performed well internationally, this success was not always translating into similar results at under-20 level. Wessels explained that the issue appeared to stem from a lack of competitive matches for players during the transition period after leaving school. We realize this age group needs more competitive game time, he said, introducing the SA Rugby Under-23 Cup to address this challenge. SA Rugby introduced a major overhaul of its junior rugby structure. Changes to other age group competitions. The restructuring also includes several other adjustments to the junior rugby calendar. The under-19 competition has been discontinued, while the SA Rugby Under-20 Cup will return for the first time since 2023. This tournament replaces the previous SA Rugby Under-21 Cup First Division competition. Some players who had excelled at school level were playing as few as 10 games in the 2 years after leaving school. Compared to the intense school rugby schedules many players were used to, this represented a significant drop in competitive exposure. That reduction in match play, Wessels believes, hindered the development of some promising athletes. Playing the game is the best teacher, he explained, why increasing the number of meaningful matches available to young players. SA Rugby hopes to accelerate their progress and better prepare them for professional rugby.